Okay, here it says that write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. So what's the slope-intercept form? Y is equal to mx plus b. That's the slope-intercept form. That passes through this point here. Okay? So we know a point already. And is perpendicular to this line. So they're not giving you the slope, however, they give you a reference line. In order to see what is the slope of my line is, I have to find the slope of my reference line, which is perpendicular to the line that I'm looking for, and find the slope is negative and reciprocal of each other. So the relationship between two lines that are perpendicular, the slope would be negative and reciprocal of each other. Okay, how would I find the slope of this line here? 2x is equal to 3y plus 2. What would be the easiest way to find the slope? Anybody remember? You have to solve for what? You want to get
solve for y.
Very good. Solve for y. If I get it to this point here, then I can know the slope. So that's all I have to do is just isolate y. So if I subtract 2 from both sides of the equation, I get 3y is equal to 2x minus 2, or 3y is equal to 2x minus 2. If I divide both sides by 3, then y would be equal to 2 over 3x minus 2 over 3. It means the reference line, the line that is perpendicular to my line, has a slope of 2 over 3. So what would be the slope of my line? Negative 3 over 2. Negative and reciprocal of that. So now I know one point. I know the slope. I can write the equation of the line. The two equations I can use. Which one is easier? Y is equal to mx plus b. If I use this equation here, that's all I have to do is just substitute for each m minus 3 over 2. Do I know b? The y-intercept, is that given to me? No.
Right? Oh, no.
We don't know b. So how would I solve for b? I'm going to use this point here and treat this at point P. So this would be x, this would be y. Everywhere I see y on this equation, I put 4. Everywhere I see x, I would put 1. And just simply solve for b. So 4 over 1 is equal to minus 3 over 2 plus b. So b would be equal to 4 over 1 plus 3 over 2. I have to add 3 over 2 to both sides of the equation. Now I need to add these up. So the LCD is 2. So it would be 8 over 2 plus 3 over 2. So what's my b? What's my y-intercept? 11 over 2. So I know my y-intercept. I know my slope. Now I can write the equation of the line here. So y is equal to, the slope is minus 3/2 x plus 11 over 2. You notice that I use slope-intercept formula to solve for b, to write the equation of the line. I could use y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1 to obtain the same results. Would be a lot easier to use y is equal to mx plus b, of course. Okay, now the question is, why did I change the slope of the reference line to minus 3 over 2, where the slope of the reference line was 2 over 3?
Correct.
That's what you're asking, right?
Yes.
Okay, the reason is the reference line, which is this one right here, is perpendicular to the line that I'm looking for.
Okay.
If two lines are perpendicular, the slope would be negative and reciprocal of each other.
Got it.
Okay. Now, if I change this perpendicular to parallel, then I would use exact same slope for this, 2 over 3.
Okay.
If two lines are parallel, the slope would be exactly the same. If two lines are perpendicular, the slope would be negative and reciprocal of each other.
Got it.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Here's a mixture problem. It says how many liters of 25% alcohol must be mixed with 40 liters of 35% alcohol solution to obtain 32% alcohol solution. For this kind of mixture problem, I suggest that you picture that. So imagine you want to make a punch for the party, and this is your final product to the right, which is equal to, and you go look for two bottles at home. One, it says labeled 25% alcohol on it, and the other one labeled 35%. However, the one with a 35%, we know maybe this bottle hasn't been opened, is labeled 40 liters on it. So the second one here that we have 40, we know it's 40 liters for sure because it hasn't been opened maybe. And then we label this is 35% alcohol on this one. So we write the strength on the bottle, and the bottom we just write the amount, which is 40 liter. Now the next bottle that you have, you find labeled 25% alcohol, but we don't know how much we're going to use because it's already been used partially perhaps. So, but overall, you want to get 32% in your punch, okay? Okay, so what's going on here is 32% is for your final product that you want to have. So what you have on hand is 25%, which is not enough alcohol, 35%, which is too much alcohol for what you're doing. Okay, so the amount here that we have, we don't know how much we're going to use. I'm going to assume that I'm going to use X liter here. So if I use X liter from the first bottle and 40 liter from the second bottle, how much do I have on my punch at the end?
It's going to be more than 40 liters.
Cannot be more than, the total amount would be equal to what, anyone?
More than 40 liters, I'm not sure.
More than 40 liter, but exactly. We're talking about the amount now, not the strength. So if I use X liter here, use 40 liters here, if I put them into the punch, the final bowl, that would be what, how much? Would be X plus 40 then, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so you're absolutely right. It's more than 40. How much more? X plus 40. All right, once you can picture this, then you can see how to set up the equation. So the equation simply would be amount times the strength. So it would be X times 25%. So 25% times X plus 35% times 40 must be equal to 32% times X plus 40. So this is your equation. All right, 25%, which is the same as 0.25, 35% divided by 100 would be 0.35. 32% would be 0.32. Okay, so if I write this down, that would be 0.25x plus 0.35 times 40 equal to 0.32 times x plus 40. If you don't like to deal with decimal, I can multiply each term by what? Multiply each term by what factor here to eliminate the decimal? What factor of 10? What is that? Yeah, you have 2 digits after the decimal points, right? So 100, right? If I multiply each term by 100, then I can eliminate the decimal. We could deal with decimal if you wanted to, but I'm going to move the decimal. So if I multiply the first term by the 100, I get only 25x, no decimal there. Multiply the second term by 100, I get 35 times 40. You notice I only multiply 0.35 by 100. And the last term, I multiply 0.32 by 100, I get 32 times x plus 40. Now I can distribute. I get 25x plus 35 times
35 by
40, they give me 1400.
Mhm.
That give me
32x.
32x plus 32 times 40, they give me 1280. So I need to combine like terms. I can move the smaller x where the larger x is located, so I can subtract 25x from both sides of the equation. I get 32x minus 25x, that gives me 7x. Then I can go ahead and subtract 1280 from both sides of the equation.
Okay.
And subtract 1280 here. So all the number goes to the left. So it would be 1400 minus 1280. They give me 120. 120 is equal to 7x. Divide both sides by 7. What is x is equal to? 17.14. That would be, the unit would be what, liter?
Mhm.
So we need to use 17.14 liter of 25%. And then if you want to, that's exactly what they're asking you to do. It says, how many liters of 25% alcohol? This is our final answer. We already find it. 17.14 liter of 25% we need to use in order to obtain
32%.
32% here.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a mixture problem also. So let's have somebody read this for us, please.
I'll read it.
Yes, please.
Leanne needs a 70% concentration of antifreeze in her car's 8-liter capacity radiator to be adequately prepared for winter. Currently, the radiator is filled with a 50% mixture. How many liters must be drained and replaced with antifreeze to increase the concentration to 70%?
Thank you. So here we have 50%. I'm going to put the strength here that we have currently, but we need to drain part of that, okay? So we have, currently we have 8 liter here. So I'm going to mark here 8 liters of 50%, but we need to take that out. So I'm going to put subtract, okay? We don't know how much we're going to take out, but we're going to call X. I'm going to take out X liters of the 50%. And then in replace of that, I'm going to put the same amount of X here. And what would be the strength of that? 100%, right? That's the 100% antifreeze we're going to do. In replace of 50%, I'm going to drain this out. We don't know how much, so I'm going to call it X. And in place of that, I'm going to put 100% antifreeze here. So I'm going to put the same amount of X. And it says at the end, see what's going to happen. At the end, we want to have 70%. We want to have a 70% of still 8 liter. You don't want to change that 8 liter originally we had. So we can, if you picture this, would be a lot easier to set up the equation. All right, so now we got our equation here. So it says, you would say 50%. Okay, I'm going to change this to the decimal here. 50% means 0.5. Okay, here also would be 0.5. 100% would be 1. And 70% would be 0.7. So if I want to write the equation, amount times the strength, 8 times 0.5. So write 0.5 times 8 minus 0.5 times X. We don't know how much we're going to drain, plus 1 times X, 100% would be 1, equal to 0.7 times 8. This would be your equation that you have to set up here. Okay, are we gonna deal with decimal or you want to eliminate decimal? Okay, if I want to eliminate decimal, what do I have to do? Multiply each term by what? 10, very good. If I multiply each term by 10, I can eliminate the decimal. I usually like to eliminate the decimal, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply each term by 10. Let's see what's going to happen. So here I would get multiply 0.5 by 10. Give me just, give me what? 5. So you get, okay, actually this is 1.00 instead of that is, yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and multiply each term by 10. So that give me 5. 5 times 8, that's good. Minus, if I multiply this term here by 10, I get 5 times x plus, if I multiply this by 10, don't forget each term should be multiplied by 10. That would become 10x. That would be 7 times 8, okay? So that give me 40 minus, let's combine these two. 5x plus 10x, that give me plus 5x equal to 56. So if I subtract 40 from both sides of the equation, I get 5x is equal to 56 minus 40. What is that? 16. Divide both sides by 5. So x would be equal to 16 over 5 or 3.2. Don't forget the unit, 3.2 what? Liters, okay? So the answer x is, that's what we assume to be. So we need to, it says how many liters must be drained. Okay, 3.2 liters must be drained in order to obtain what we need here. So, okay, there are a couple of questions right now. A few of you asked. One is, where does 56 come from? Okay, the 56 is come from 7 times 8. Okay, because we multiply them by 10, 0.7 turns to 7. 7 times 8 is 56. The second question was, where does 100% come from? Okay, when we replace a part of this antifreeze, which was already been used, it's like a strength of that is 50%. When I drain this X amount, in replace of this X amount, I'm going to put 100% antifreeze in there so I can improve the strength of that to maintain at least 70%. Okay, so if you have 100%, add in replace of this 50%, then we want it to have 70%. So I hope everybody see where that 100% come from now. When you put pure antifreeze in the tank, the strength is 100%. When you drain whatever you have out, X amount out, they will be giving us that the strength is 50%. That's why 50% of X is going out, 100% of X going in. Okay, so in this example here, we just want to find out the slope and y-intercept. So in this case, it says identify and interpret the y-intercept and the slope of each linear function. So for part A, it says the cost in dollar to speak X minutes during 1 month period for a certain cell call plan is modeled by this equation. C of X is really like Y. Okay, so instead of saying Y is equal to something, C of X means the cost in terms of X. Okay, so this is like if you were like had Y is equal to 23.75 plus 0.03x. Now, in order to find out which one is the y-intercept and which one is the slope, you want to write this as y is equal to mx plus b. In that, if I write in that form, then the coefficient of x would be my slope, and whatever number left over would be my y-intercept. So I need to switch this around a little bit. So y is equal to 0.03x plus 23.75. So my slope here for this one would be 0.03, and my y-intercept here is equal to 23.75. For the second example, this is LT, the life expectancy in year for group T years after 1985. So L of T is equal to minus 0.2T plus 61.3. Again, we want to write it as this form, y is equal to mx plus b. So in this case, this is already in that form, so you can write as y is equal to minus 0.2T plus 61.3. So the slope here must be minus 0.2, and the y-intercept, or b, y-intercept, or sometimes we call it b, is equal to 61.3. Now, remember, if you have a negative slope, if you look at the graph from left to right will go down. If you have a positive slope, from left to right, the graph goes up. We'll look at all those later. But this is also all asking, that's all they're asking here to locate the y-intercept and the slope.